I can't believe it. It's been about a year since I've stood in front of this camera. 4 discs replaced, 2 titanium rods added, a bunch of titanium screws. What we're trying to do is take my lower back, the section of it that they took the discs out from, and turn it into one chunk, which nature is supposed to do, and nature is taking its sweet time. But I did not want to miss the 20th year that we have come down to the Rock to celebrate what these people did in 1895 on Thanksgiving morning, when they literally created the auto industry, which is probably most important for people that aren't gearheads. And for those of us who are gearheads, they created motorsport. And for us to stop down here on Thanksgiving morning and tip our hats, I think is appropriate. Now, we've got a group here that's been down here many times before. I think who speaks for them? You got a president or something? Okay, please tell the folks who you are.
I'm Frank Punzio from Norwich with the North Shore Corvette Club. And this is maybe like the 3rd or 4th year we've come as a group. I've been coming down here for about 10 years, and hopefully I'll never miss it as long as you're here doing your thing, Bill.
Well, I'm going to try, and I hope the audience will forgive me. Normally I would go, and as soon as the interview is done, take pictures. They've got all their cars lined up here. I can't do it. I physically can't do it, but I want you to tell me what you brought down.
I got a 1999 C5 Corvette, navy blue metallic in color. It's a mallet tuner car that I've had for 10 years now.
Big time vet guy.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, that's an expensive one. Now you are.
Jim Poole from Park Ridge, 2008 Corvette.
Okay, also drove down here today.
No, I rode with a friend.
Okay, there's a lot of guys, this is a kind of a touch and go day with rain and everything, aren't bringing their cars down, and you are.
Ron Maisala from Howard Heights, Illinois. Don't have it here today, but I've had a 2002 magnetic red coupe Corvette.
Okay, and you're a Corvette fan.
Oh gosh, yes.
Okay, let me step over here if you would lean in.
I'm Frank Punzio, his son, so I mooch off his car.
Well, that's okay. I do have a question for you, though. Are you a car guy because you're a car guy, or are you just dragged into it kicking and screaming?
I like to think I'm one.
Okay, well, no, you would listen. We've gone over this so many times. Just because, I'm thinking of the Thinnises, if you guys are watching out there, Steve Thinnis, who was a many-time Grundy County Speedway midget champion, and I raced with him when he was 16, and I was old already. He has an older brother, 1 year older. Never saw him at the racetrack, had no interest in the racing. All the years Steve was champion and all that. So it was the father and the one son. But that doesn't mean the other son is good. And that's okay, too. We need piano players, too. So it's okay. You know what I mean? But you're a gearhead.
I like to think so.
Okay, well, that's all that's necessary. Now, let me come over here. If you would, please tell the folks who you are.
Good morning. Frank Partapillo, Park Ridge. I got a CTS V-Wagon.
You're not the... first of all, I glanced at that when I walked up here. I didn't know they made one of those.
From 2011 to 2014.
And we're talking about a Cadillac.
Cadillac station wagon, supercharged, 556 horsepower.
Wow. Now, how long did you say they've been making that?
They made it from 2011 to 14.
Boy, that one got by me. I did not know that. Yep. Okay, let me get the pretty girl in here. I can't believe I didn't do this first. And you are?
My name is Tara Blum, and I'm from Arlington Heights, or we're from Arlington Heights, and we have 2 Corvettes, a 62 and a 67, but we've got the Mustang here, which we bring every year.
I'm surprised they aren't throwing rocks at you.
Well, yeah. We got to come in second place today instead of bringing up the rear in our little caravan. And Frank, by the way, is too modest. He does a wild autocross with his dad's car.
Okay, so he is a real gearhead then.
Yeah,
and you are?
Glenn Blood from Arlington Heights, her husband, and I'm with North Shore Corvette Club also.
Okay, and I should tell the audience these clubs are really the lifeblood of motorsports. It doesn't make any difference. I'm thinking of the Windy City Corvette Club, who does the all Corvette show out of Bill K. Chevrolet every year, and we run into the North Shore Corvette Club, and there's another one, and they're going to kill me because I'm afraid these are very active clubs that do things together, and I assume this is one of those things? Oh, Northern Rays. Yes, you're right, the Northern Rays Club. Now, I want to ask the lady, did you understand what I was talking about to you? You understand this is important?
Oh, yeah.
Will you do me a favor?
What?
I'd like you to step out here, and I want you to read the plaque to the audience because they can't see it. Please, step right in here. Tell them what it says.
All right. It says, the first automobile race in America. This Jackson Park location marks the start and finish of the first automobile race in America. On Thanksgiving Day, 1895, 6 cars, 4 gasoline-powered and 2 electric, raced 54 miles to Evanston and back. J. Frank
Duryea, you said it right,
won the race in 7 hours and 53 minutes driving a gasoline-powered vehicle. This race introduced the automobile to America.
Excellent. Thank you. Step back there. I'm not sure at my age without glasses I could have done it. So, although I should have it memorized by now. But this really was important. I want everybody to understand. Well, I hope everybody has fun when they come down here. And you're not going to be a TV star if you don't get into that camera shot.
Okay.
This race was important for a number of reasons. First of all, at the time, 1895, America had never seen automobiles. They didn't know what there was. The name automobile didn't exist. The name car didn't. None of that existed. They didn't know what these contraptions were. The only thing that was going on was, you have to remember, this is before television and before radio. They didn't even have radio in 1895. All of the news was carried by newspapers, and Chicago had more than a dozen major newspapers. One of those newspapers was the Chicago Times-Herald. The Chicago Times-Herald editor took a trip, Herman Kolset. We do have a hero here, Herman Kolset. We kind of owe America to him. Herman Kolset visited Europe in 1893, 2 years before this, and he saw the world's first automobile race from Paris to Bordeaux, and he was blown away. He said he saw the future, and he knew that none of this was going on in America. He says, and there were lots of them that were racing. So he came back to this country and said, what can I do with my newspaper to stimulate interest in what he sees is going to be the world's future? So he said he'll put up a big cash prize and all that. Now, it's cold out here, so I'll tell the rest of the story as we go along through the program, as I do every year. But Herman Kolset is really the hero. Without his efforts, and it took some real efforts to put this race on, and Mother Nature didn't cooperate, and the politicians didn't cooperate, but he was determined, and he got it done. And what the race did, as far as the automobiles are concerned, number one, it did, like they say, introduce the automobile to America. Number two, it showed them the direction it was going to go. You have to remember, at that time, in the first part of the 1900s, we made about 1/3 electric cars, 1/3 gasoline-powered cars, and 1/3 steam-powered cars. But this race really pointed out the electric cars. There was a couple of them. They only got a few miles and ran out of electricity in the snow. I've forgotten the other ones. The point was, the only two that finished the race were gasoline-powered, finished the entire course, and we had the winner. Frank Duryea was the winner. So it kind of gave America a little look. This is probably the way it's going to go. It's probably going to be gasoline-powered cars and all that. And it's still true to this day for a variety of reasons. Anyhow, that's it. I'm cold enough. If I can get the lady to help me, please step forward here. Okay, this is the lady from the North Shore Corvette Club. I want you to look at the camera and say,
Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back.